Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try and make this video quick. A quick, greatest of all time for fall fragrances, my favorites. And the reason why I wanted to do this video quick is because most of these I've talked about, I've shared in my top 10 recommendation videos. Wear this for fall, great fall fragrance, but I thought it would be fun to literally spend, like I spent an hour going through my collection and choosing my must-have for fall fragrances. So I'm going to share with you them. There's not like a top 10 or top 20. I'm not ranking these. So I wanted to share these scents with you, and we're going to just jump into it. Now, just real quick, if I have reviews of any of these fragrances, I'm going to link them below. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm barely going to be getting into how these smell and perform. I want this to be a quick video. So if you want to know performance, note breakdown, how it smells, why I love it so much, definitely check below for the reviews if I have them. If I don't have a review of any of these, then just request it. I'll be more than happy to do it. So I don't know exactly how many fragrances I have here, but I will just let you guys know the theme of fall fragrances for me has a lot to do with wearability and complexity. Before I jump into these scents, I like fragrances that are a little bit challenging, but with fall, it's transitioning from hot heat to being able to wear scents that have more to them than just fresh, more than just citrus, more than just warmth, and transportive properties to take you away from hot and humid environments. And since moving to Central Florida, we do get more true seasons. We can dip into the 20 degrees, which is nice, which means I get to enjoy the fragrances that bloom and blossom and perform better in cooler weather rather than just the swampy tropical weather of South Florida where I used to live. So I get very excited. I tried not to include anything that was discontinued, but again, I just chose my favorites. And I didn't just choose fragrances that I talk a lot about. I also chose fragrances that I wear like in the morning or just grab and go fragrances. These are fragrances that might serve more of a utilitarian purpose rather than just I get to smell pretty and artistic and like an artisanal luxury niche fragrance. Like there's a lot to this, and that's the part I'm going to get into is why I chose the fragrance, not so much the note breakdown. The first one we're going to get into is probably one of the most talked about fragrances in a fall fragrance. Favorite, very cult, loved scent. I talk about this one all the time. It's By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, Replica. A beautiful scent. Basically smells nutty and sexy and spiced and sweet. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance. If you want a bit more of an elevated version of this, this is one of my top favorite fragrances ever, 1899 from History's des Parfums. This is Ernest Hemingway. This particular fragrance was a love at first sniff. I have a travel size of this, which is why the big bottle doesn't look like it's been touched. The travel size is almost empty. And once the travel size is empty, I'm going to be dipping into this big old bottle. So I normally wear through my travel size atomizers before I go into the full size bottles. But this fragrance is one of my most favorite fragrances. It's a very sexy, wearable scent, and I always kind of describe it as the love child of By the Fireplace and Victor and Rolf's Spice Bomb. If you take the best versions of both of those, bring it together to create a beautiful baby, you have 1899. This is just one of my most worn fragrances ever. Again, travel size perfumes in my bag right now. But this big old bottle will be worn, probably will be a huge dent in it because my travel size atomizer is almost empty. But greatest of all time fall fragrances are these two, definitely more shared, leaning on the more masculine side. Another favorite masculine fragrance of mine that is a most worn, most loved fall fragrance you can wear year round, but I love it, and one I wear a lot is from Creed, Green Irish Tweed. I've talked about this one a lot. I know a lot of people have very real feelings about the House of Creed. I myself have real feelings about the House of Creed, but I do genuinely love green Irish tweed, and I like the way that it smells on my skin. Now, if I think about the greatest of all time fragrances that I wear like every day, the scents that I would just kind of grab and go, not even think about, first would be from the hands of Mancera, Choco Violet. This is beautiful, especially if you love gourmand fragrances and violet and you're looking for something more shared, even borderlining kind of on the masculine side. It's a very beautiful, sexy fragrance that I find to be perfect for fall, one of my favorites. Considered to be a great dupe for Tom Ford Lost Cherry, Dark Cherry and Amber from Banana Republic. The reason why I like this one for fall a little bit better than Lost Cherry, even though I prefer Lost Cherry, is this one performs better in colder weather in my opinion, and it is much cheaper. So for a fragrance, when I think about the greatest of all time, it's not just about smell, it's also about performance and longevity and how it's going to smell in cold weather. And Tom Ford Lost Cherry works year-round very nicely, but I find that Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber sings a little bit more proudly in colder weather, which is why I think that one is just fantastic. These are two fragrances. I love vanilla, and I think vanilla and fall is just fantastic. So these are the two vanilla scents I love. One spray of each of these. You can overspray La Vanilla, I can never say this. This is pure vanilla. They have other fragrances from this line too that's really good. I really like this one. This is the pure vanilla. La Vanilla. Their deodorants are okay. They're not bad. I need kind of like, I live in like the tropical climate of Florida, so I need a little bit more than their deodorants, but their deodorants are pretty good. But this perfume is beautiful for a vanilla, and I love the slight saltiness of Erin's Tangier Vanille. And this is one spritz for me. One spritz. If I spray this too much, I find that it gets too salty. I smell like Play-Doh, but one spritz has a beautiful warmth and just sweetness to it that I find to be really addictive. And this is one that for a vanilla fragrance that's designer, that's accessible, that has a little bit more to it than just like a frosting level of vanilla to it, is really beautiful and really perfect as like an everyday wearable scent in the fall. Ones that I crave. These are fragrances that I crave for fall. I first and foremost love Chanel No. 5. I could wear this year round, but I wear the different flankers year round. The Chanel No. 5 Low is a year-round scent for me. It's one of the most perfect flankers ever created. I've talked about it before, but I love the gorgeous beauty of the original. This is the Eau de Parfum. I also really like the Eau de Toilette. That's more of a summertime scent if I want to wear this, but I do love to bring out the Eau de Parfum during fall, so that is definitely a love. Going back to vanilla, Wicked Good from Gallagher. This is still, oh my goodness, such a good scent. I don't need to go into this. It is gorgeous. So good. He has created beautiful, just kind of like a minimalistic, gorgeous, substantial, like chocolate vanilla tonka scent. Just really sexy. I love Moth. This is still a one spritzer. I feel like I have to let you guys know how much I spray of scents, because if I'm showing you guys a full-size bottle and you're like, it's full, and I'm like, but I only spray it once, because I feel like that's also important, is the application. Like if I'm sitting here and I'm drowning myself in Clementine, California from Atelier Cologne, or if I'm drowning myself in Eccentric Molecules, that bottle is going to be empty fast. But I might wear this more frequently. I mean, not of Eccentric Molecules, Molecule 1, but I might wear this more frequently, but I might only spray this once or twice. When Clementine, California, I might spray quite literally like a dozen times. So when it comes down to days worn, some of my bottles that look full might actually be worn more than some of my bottles that look more empty. So what I've noticed with Moth from Zoologist is one spray, maybe even a half of a spray, just and on my wrists. not on my neck, on my wrist. A half a spritz on my wrist, and I go like this. Perfect amount. It's beautiful, it's sexy, it's mysterious, it's incensey, it's smoky, and it smells so good in fall. Now, if I want to overspray, although I try not to overspray, Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, beautiful fragrance. This is like I'll spray 3 to 4 times, and it just smells really beautiful and very sexy. A very wearable scent, one of his more popular fragrances, and I think one of the sexier scents from the line, and one of my favorite tea fragrance from Serge Lutens, 5 o'clock Eau Gingerbread. This is another one that I wear a lot of. So these are my ones that I kind of crave to wear, and also are very just wearable, which means I don't have to really think about where I'm going when I'm wearing them. If I'm running errands, if I'm going to be at the doctor's office, if I'm going a variety of different places, even though even the zoologist is a little bit more complex and can be even a little bit challenging, it's not challenging in a way that I think would be overwhelming or suffocating for people around me, especially if I'm only spraying it like once on my wrist. So I do find these to be safer to wear anywhere in fall, and I do absolutely love it. It is newer to my collection, but the samples of this I wore all fall last year, and it's the Nightingale from Dixit and Zach, a gorgeous night blooming jasmine scent that really kind of celebrates the more tamed versions of that note. I just reviewed it, so I'll obviously link it below. The last fragrances are the ones that I find to be not so much challenging, but these are the ones that I have to be a little bit more mindful about where I go, but these are the ones that I get super excited to wear, like I'm like breaking them out. So weirdly enough, this one isn't challenging, but because this is more on the powdery side and some people have issues with powdery fragrances, I am mindful about where I wear it, but it is Armani Prive, New York. Beautiful, beautiful scent, so good. I've talked about it. It is a complex, marshmallowy, powdery, soft masterpiece of a fragrance. Their Armani Prive collection has just wowed me. I love them, and New York is just perfection. But it is powdery, so if you are not super into powdery fragrances, or if you're around people who are kind of not into powdery fragrances, it can be more on the challenging side, but I love it for fall. This one is definitely on the more filling a room kind of. We all know how this one smells. This is Hypnotic Poison from Dior. Oh my goodness, do I love this fragrance. It is so good. It's so good. I have to be so mindful because everybody that I know cannot stand this fragrance. But for some reason in fall, the colder weather makes this more bearable for the people that I live with. So I tend to rock this in fall. And that is when I bring this out. That is when I love it. That is when I wear it. It is so delicious. It is so sexy. It is so mysterious. It is so beautiful. And it fills a room. It is suffocating. The definition of suffocating. Hypnotic Poison and Angel are the ones that I would consider to be the fragrances that could quite literally just become sentient and sucker punch you in the face. But still, gorgeous fragrance. One of my most favorites is Oud Bouquet from Maison Lancôme. I really don't think you guys need me to talk about that one anymore. Alexandria 2, I don't know why I took a second there to say that word. Alexandria 2 from Zurich. Now, Ivory Root, Mamluk, a variety of different, Lyra Italica could have been part of this video, but there's something about just how perfectly balanced and beautiful Alexandria 2 is, that this just had to be the chosen one from the House of Xerjoff. I try not to have the same houses. The reason why Alexandria 2 is there's something timeless and beautiful and iconic about this fragrance. And when I think about the masterful way Xerjoff has tamed oud while still celebrating it, it's really done in Alexandria 2, almost effortlessly and beautifully. And I love it and I crave it. I'm still kind of sad that I bought a smaller bottle. I haven't quite decided if I want to sell my smaller bottle and buy a big bottle, but I think I might just stick with the smaller bottle. We'll see. One of the harder to wear fragrances, but still one of my favorites, is Forbidden from House of Matriarch. I don't know if you can see, it's like to here. So the reason why I'm showing you guys specifically this one is to here is that specifically Forbidden is it's not a challenging fragrance, but it is an unfamiliar composition that not many people are attracted to. But Kristy has done it in such a masterful way that I am just floored by. And what that is it is an overtly almost slimy, indolic tuberose fragrance. And it's like umami and mushroom and damp and dense and vegetal, but it is so sexy and so wearable. And it's so beautiful. Now this fragrance can be worn year round, but there's something about the briskness of fall right before it gets super cold that really makes this really overtly indolic white floral just shine and sing, even though it is also beautiful in summer. And that is why I love this one. I just love it in general, but just as a greatest of all time fall fragrance, as somebody who loves white florals, as it rolls off my thigh into the, I'm literally just like sandwiched and covered in all of the bottles are on my lap right now. It is beautiful white floral. If you like a little bit more challenging, but gorgeous, overtly indolic, rich, dense, white florals, try Forbidden from House of Matriarch. It is beautiful. The last two are just almost kind of like dumb grabs, but can be a little bit on the challenging side. Not because they're challenging, but because they are so pungent and strong and can fill a room. And this one I wouldn't say is nearly as strong as the other one, but it can be on the a little bit more aromatic side. And some people find this fragrance to be polarizing. I myself absolutely love it. It's from Guerlain. It's Santel Royale. There's something about this fragrance. There's something about the way that this smells that some people really just gravitate towards, and other people are just kind of like, it smells too medicinal. I don't like it. I particularly love it, which is why this is a must-have for fall. And another must-have greatest of all time for fall is Hypnotizing Fire from the Harmonist. Beautiful scent. Sexy, powerful, in-your-face fragrance, attention-grabbing, really just outstanding fragrance. And I mean, when I'm talking about sexy and bold and loud and attention-grabbing, it is all the above, really beautiful. And this house is definitely on the pricier side and harder to find and explore. But if you have the opportunity to explore this house and you're looking for a fiery, sexy fragrance that men and women could wear, it's definitely more shared. Hypnotizing Fire is one of the fragrances from the house that is definitely worth going out of your way to try and sample and decant. Not buy blindly, never buy blindly, especially based off of the opinions of strangers on the internet. But if you have the opportunity to sample or try this fragrance, and you have to go out of your way, like maybe like drive a little bit farther, or if you can find a sample or a decant of it somewhere, it's definitely worth trying because it is so sexy, it is so powerful, and it is so beautiful. I love this fragrance so much. It is definitely perfect for fall. Anyway, I think I took a little bit longer on this video than I wanted, but I wanted to just kind of break down my greatest of all time fall fragrances. I'm quite literally littered with fragrances here, so I'm gonna end this video now so these don't like just pour all over me. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd also like to know, what are your like greatest of all time? What are your GOATs for fall? Let me know what those fragrances are below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.